Today I am excited to talk to you guys about my process for decluttering and organizing our home. As a homemaker, I feel like one of my jobs is to be the gatekeeper of our home. And by that, I mean, I feel like it's my job to kind of manage what I allow to enter our home and what I don't allow to enter our home. I feel like this is not just physical items, it's spiritual and emotional and mental, but for the sake of today's video, I'm going to be just talking about the physical. That being said, I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes and I let certain things in that have no business being here. So, decluttering and organizing our home is something that I do regularly to try and manage and stay on top of it. By the end of this video, you are going to see that I have done a terrible job at being the gatekeeper for the physical items in our home this year. Honestly, it is so bad that I considered cutting this video short and not showing you guys the ugliest parts of our home. But I do not ever want my blog or my YouTube channel to be unattainable or like too perfect it's not real. If you are feeling tired and weary and a little worn down from 2024, feeling a little bit like you failed in this area, I am going to not only share with you the most humiliating parts of my home, but I'm also going to share some encouragement. So let's get into the process for how I declutter our home. The first thing I do is pick one area. Depending on the amount of time that I have that day, sometimes I only pick something small like the hand towel drawer in the kitchen. But on other days, when I have more time and more energy, I pick a big project like the entryway closet. After I decide what space I'm going to be working in, I remove every item from that space. This does two things. One, I get everything out of there so I'm actually able to find things that have been lost or misplaced because they've been shoved to the back of the drawer or shoved to the back of the closet. And then also I am able to give the space a little bit of a clean. As I'm removing the items, I put them into three different piles. I have a keep pile, a donate pile, and a trash pile. And the keep pile is kind of a twofold pile. If I choose that we're going to keep something, I kind of separate it. Is this going back into the same location that it was just in? Or am I going to put it in another location in our home where it will serve our family more efficiently? This closet was a unique closet in that it's a fairly deep closet, but it's especially long. So you have one small doorway and then there's a lot of closet on the right side and on the left side. So since this closet is used for board games and movies more than it is for coats, we decided to take half of the closet and add shelves from floor to ceiling, and the other half of the closet is set up like your traditional closet. with that said, I would say don't be afraid to do things a little unconventional if it works for you. Another thing that I do that's a little unconventional is I don't fold all of my towels. So my tea towels that I use for my sourdough and my hand towels, I fold. But I have cheesecloth, like reusable cheesecloth towels that I store in one of the drawers in the hutch, and I do not fold those. I use those when I'm milking Millie in the morning, and to me, it seems like wasted time to fold it. I do is evaluate whether or not this space is functional the way that it is. Is the storage system in this closet or in this drawer the best use of the space? Should we add shelves? Do I need baskets or plastic totes with lids on them stacked? In what ways can I better utilize this space? Or is it being utilized well? It just kind of got out of hand and needed to be put back together. Another helpful tip is that if you're able to choose, like I chose this week is going to be my week of declutter, and I decluttered a little bit all week. By doing that, I found that I had totes with plastic totes with lids in one cabinet that I didn't need anymore because I donated everything that was in that tote. But I was able to use that for the girls' paints and Play-Doh. I am not into spending money needlessly, but if it helps our home run more efficiently, then I will buy baskets or I will buy some storage totes. But I first look through the rest of my house to see if I can utilize something that I already have before I go spend some money on it. I, for the longest time, did not involve the girls in my decluttering because, as I told you guys in my last video, it is so difficult with them sometimes to declutter and get rid of things. However, as their mom, it is my job to train them up and to prepare them to manage and run their own household. And part of that, I believe, is managing the clutter. So I'm not one to hold on to things, have not been one to hold on to things for a long time. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I struggled to get rid of something. But my girls obviously don't have that bent and maybe they'll grow out of it, or maybe I can help them learn how to do it different. I think it also gives them a little bit of excitement to go, we're donating this to this specific person to help them, or we're donating this to the church to help the church. Okay, so like I said, I decluttered and organized our home over multiple days. So this was day 2 of decluttering. And just being completely honest, for me, decluttering and organizing is exciting, but it is exhausting. I'm having to make so many mental decisions about what we're going to keep, what we're going to get rid of, and then how are we going to store this more efficiently. And it's just exhausting. So another little tip, as a reward for me and the girls for doing this thing, was to make a treat, to do something special. So we went downstairs and grabbed a jar of apple cider that we pressed from the apples on our farm, and we made spiced apple cider, which is one of the recipes that I got from my mother-in-law. It's my girl's favorite way to have apple cider, and it's super simple. It's just some apple cider, some cranberry juice, and cinnamon. And then the girls have been asking me to make sourdough bagels. So I also got some sourdough bagels going so that we could enjoy that after the the exhausting decluttering was over. At the beginning of this video, I was talking about being the gatekeeper of my home. And I mentioned that I believe that being the gatekeeper of my home is more than just physical. Being the gatekeeper of my home is mental and emotional, it's spiritual. What I allow to enter our home and take up residency. And all of the decluttering of my mind, decluttering of my heart, decluttering of my spirit, all of that takes time. It all takes time, just like the decluttering of our physical space takes time. So if you're feeling tired and worn down, I wanted to offer you grace in the space to take that time to declutter your thoughts and to declutter your heart. And just as a little bit of vulnerability, and I hope this encourages you too. I have had so much anxiety, just such an increased level of anxiety and fear and what's going on in the world. I feel like every time I pick up my phone, it's fear, 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 unknown, 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 unknown. And so it was so bad that my husband would come home and he would go, "Aaliyah, did you spend time on your phone today?" Because he could tell on the days he came home when I was super anxious that I had been on my phone and had become fearful of whatever my phone was showing me, versus days that I had spent outside playing with the girls with a minimal amount of phone time, and I didn't have that kind of anxiety when he came home. So I deleted Instagram and Facebook from my phone. I decided I can still have the accounts, that way I can still do all the things for the blog and YouTube, but when they're on my computer, I'm not looking at them and just scrolling aimlessly and mindlessly. It was so easy on my phone to just open it up and click the button, and I would let in my mind and in my heart so many things that did not belong there. It was not their place to be there, and it was having an impact on me and then my home. And so I deleted them, and I kid you not, it was like night and day difference almost immediately. I had way more time. I am embarrassed by the amount of time that I lost through I have 15 minutes to scroll mindlessly throughout the day, and how much it impacted me. So, if you're feeling tired and weary, and 2024 was a rough year for you, I want to give you grace and say, if you're looking at your closets and you're looking at your cabinets and it's chaos like mine, it's okay. It's 100% okay. But if we can be intentional to declutter what we allow into our person as the gatekeeper of our homes, then we will be better equipped to be the gatekeeper of our home. I wanted to tell you all thank you so much for the feedback that you guys gave me from last week's video. It was so good to hear from you guys and to know what it is that you're hoping to find. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you next time.